Are you tired of trying to break bad habits and feeling like you're getting nowhere? Whether it's procrastination, stress eating, or endless scrolling, these breakthrough techniques will help you finally take control. In this video, we'll share 13 breakthrough techniques to conquer bad habits. Stick around as we give you powerful brain hacks that can rewire your mind, build healthier habits, and make lasting change. Stay tuned because these tips are based on the latest brain science and personal development strategies, so you won't want to miss them. Just give Luxo-Life some love and let's get started. Number 13. Interrupt the habit at random times. The first thing you want to do is to weaken the hold your habit has on you by disrupting it at random times. Habits are often so ingrained in our routines that they become automatic. You might not even realize when you're doing them until they're already done. By interrupting your habit unexpectedly, you force your brain to stay alert and present. This is an important step in breaking the automatic cycle. Think about a habit like reaching for your phone every time you're bored. If you interrupt that action at unpredictable moments, like deciding to take a walk instead or picking up a book, your brain has to stop and process the new choice. Over time, this process helps weaken the automatic pull of the habit. It's a simple but powerful way to shake up your routine and remind yourself that you have control. Number 12. Engage your higher thinking centers. Increasing your awareness is one of the most effective ways to break free from automatic habits. When you focus on small details in your environment, you engage your brain's higher thinking centers. This helps bring conscious thought into your actions rather than just letting your habits run on autopilot. It's all about training your brain to be more mindful of what's happening around you and what you're doing at the moment. For example, imagine you're trying to break the habit of mindlessly eating while watching TV. By shifting your focus to something specific, like the texture of the food or the sounds in your environment, you force your brain to stay present. This interrupts the automatic behavior and helps you become more aware of your choices. Engaging your higher thinking centers pulls you out of habit mode and into a more intentional mindset. The beauty of this technique is that it can be applied to almost any habit. Whether it's biting your nails, scrolling on your phone, or snacking without thinking, the goal is to actively engage your brain in the present moment. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to notice when you're falling into old patterns and to make a conscious decision to change. Number 11. Change your environment. They say that when a flower doesn't bloom, you fix the environment in which it grows, not the flower. The same idea applies to breaking bad habits. Often, our surroundings play a bigger role in our behaviors than we realize. If you keep finding yourself falling into the same bad habits, it might be time to take a look at the environment around you. Altering your surroundings can disrupt the cues that trigger those habits, making it easier to break free from this cycle. For instance, if you're trying to stop eating junk food but always snack when sitting on the couch, changing that environment can make a big difference. Move your snacks to a different room or sit somewhere else when you feel the urge to snack. By changing where these habits happen, you force your brain to adapt to the new surroundings, and that can weaken the habit's hold over you. It's about making it harder for your brain to go back into autopilot. Number 10. Curiosity over criticism. By exploring your habits with curiosity instead of self-criticism, you open the door to real progress. When you criticize yourself for falling into a bad habit, it often leads to feelings of guilt and frustration, which can make the habit even harder to break. But when you approach your habits with curiosity, you take on the mindset of someone who is learning rather than someone who. This shift allows you to view your actions objectively and look for solutions instead of dwelling on mistakes. For example, instead of thinking, "Why do I always procrastinate? I'm so lazy?" you could ask yourself, What's making me want to procrastinate right now? Is there something I'm avoiding? By asking these types of questions, you can start to understand the triggers and emotions behind your habit. This understanding gives you the power to address the real issues instead of just beating yourself up for slipping into old patterns. It turns the process of breaking a habit into something constructive and empowering. Curiosity also helps you be kinder to yourself, which is crucial when trying to make lasting changes. Number 9. Find healthier emotional alternatives. Many habits are tied to emotional needs. Whether it's stress, boredom, or anxiety, these emotions often drive us to engage in habits that provide temporary relief, like snacking, procrastinating, or mindlessly scrolling through social media. The problem is, these habits don't solve the root issue, they just cover it up for a while. The key to breaking these habits is to identify the underlying emotion and find healthier, more constructive ways to address it. Let's say you tend to snack when you're stressed. Instead of reaching for food, you can explore other ways to deal with that stress. Maybe taking a short walk, practicing deep breathing, or even writing in a journal can provide the same emotional release without the negative consequences of overeating. By replacing the habit with a healthier alternative, you're still addressing the emotional need, but in a way that supports your overall well-being. Number 8. Shorten emotional reactions. Habits often arise as reactions to emotions. When you're feeling stressed, bored, or frustrated, it's easy to fall into automatic behaviors that provide quick relief, like reaching for your phone, snacking, or getting distracted. These reactions happen so quickly that you might not even realize it until it's already done. The challenge is learning to catch yourself in that brief moment before the habit takes over. One powerful way to break this cycle is by consciously shortening your emotional reaction time. When you feel an emotion coming on, like frustration or stress, train yourself to pause before responding. Take a few deep breaths or count to 5. This small gap creates enough space for you to make a deliberate choice rather than falling into your usual habit. It's a simple yet effective way to regain control over your actions. Number 7. Learn from mistakes. Mistakes are valuable opportunities for growth. When you're working on breaking a habit, it's natural to slip up along the way. Instead of viewing these moments as failures, try to see them as chances to learn more about yourself and your behavior. Every mistake holds important information about your triggers and the situations that make your habit harder to break. By approaching your mistakes with curiosity, you can use them to refine your strategy. For example, if you're trying to stop procrastinating but find yourself putting off tasks again, look at what led to that moment. Were you feeling overwhelmed, distracted, tired? By identifying the trigger, you can adjust your approach for the next time it happens. Maybe you need to break tasks down into smaller steps, or maybe taking short breaks could help. This process of learning from mistakes allows you to fine-tune your habits and make better choices moving forward. Number 6. Reprogram the reward system. Habits are often driven by the brain's craving for rewards. Every time you engage in a habit, your brain is looking for some kind of payoff, whether it's a sense of relief, pleasure, or comfort. This reward system is what makes certain habits so hard to break. They provide immediate satisfaction, even if they're not good for you in the long run. To break free from these habits, you need to retrain your brain to seek rewards from healthier behaviors. One way to do this is by attaching positive rewards to the actions you want to build into your routine. For example, if you're trying to build the habit of exercising regularly, you could reward yourself with something enjoyable after each workout, maybe a relaxing bath, a favorite healthy snack, or watching an episode of your favorite show. By linking the reward to the positive behavior, your brain starts to associate the new habit with that sense of satisfaction, making it easier to stick with. Number 5. Emotional priming. Emotional priming rehearsing is a powerful way to prepare your brain for success when breaking a habit. The idea is simple. You mentally rehearse the positive emotions you'll feel once you've successfully made the change. By focusing on feelings like accomplishment, pride, or joy, you're essentially training your brain to expect those emotions when you follow through on a new behavior. This makes it easier to stick with a habit because your brain becomes wired to seek out the emotional reward. For example, if you're trying to stop smoking, spend a few minutes each day visualizing how proud and relieved you'll feel when you no longer rely on cigarettes. Picture yourself as healthier, more energetic, and in control of your actions. The more vividly you can imagine these emotions, the stronger the effect will be. Over time, your brain will start associating these positive feelings with the act of not smoking, which can help override the immediate cravings or stress that might pull you back into the habit. Number 4. Mentally rehearse new actions. Visualization is a powerful tool that creates new neural pathways, helping you rehearse success. When you imagine yourself successfully breaking a habit or making a better choice, you're training your brain to respond that way in real life. This process helps your brain practice the behavior without physically doing it, which can make it easier to act on those positive decisions when the time comes. It's like running mental simulations that prepare you for the real thing. By mentally rehearsing the actions you want to take, you're building the foundation for change. For example, if you're working on resisting unhealthy food cravings, visualize yourself in a situation where you usually struggle, like standing in front of the snack cabinet. Now, mentally walk through the steps of choosing a healthier option or simply deciding not to indulge. Imagine the sense of control and satisfaction that comes from making that choice. The more you visualize this, the more natural it becomes for your brain to follow through when you're actually in that moment. Number 3. Leverage quiet moments. Quiet moments are some of the best times to focus on breaking a habit because your brain is more open to change when it's calm. These moments, like just after you wake up or right before you go to sleep, are when your mind is less cluttered by the distractions of the day. During these times, your brain is more receptive to new ideas and positive behaviors, making it the perfect opportunity to visualize success and rehearse the changes you want to make. In these calm moments, you can mentally walk through a situation where you typically struggle with your habit. Whether it's resisting the urge to procrastinate or overcoming an impulse to overeat, imagine yourself making the better choice. Picture yourself feeling proud and in control after taking the healthier path. This visualization process helps your brain build new connections and prepares it to respond differently when you face similar challenges in real life. Number 2. Meditation. Meditation is one of the most effective ways to develop better control over your habits. By regularly practicing meditation, you train your mind to observe your thoughts and impulses without reacting to them right away. This is a powerful skill when it comes to breaking bad habits, as it creates space between feeling an urge and acting on it. Over time, this ability to pause helps you choose a different, healthier response. When you meditate, you're teaching your brain to slow down and focus on the present moment. As you sit quietly and pay attention to your breath or your body, you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings. Instead of getting caught up in them or automatically reacting, meditation allows you to step back and simply observe. This builds your self-awareness and helps you recognize the triggers behind your habits, giving you the chance to intervene before acting on them. And number 1, embracing discomfort. The most effective technique of all is embracing discomfort. We've all heard the cliche, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, right? As much as it might sound overused, it holds a lot of truth when it comes to breaking habits. Change by nature isn't easy or smooth, and the discomfort you feel is simply part of that process. But instead of avoiding it, learning to face and push through that discomfort is what really helps you grow. Once you accept that this feeling is temporary and necessary, you can begin to create lasting change. When you're working on breaking a habit, you'll encounter moments when you feel resistance. It might be the urge to give in to a craving, procrastinate, or return to a familiar but unhelpful routine. These moments are uncomfortable because they pull you away from what's familiar, but they're also key opportunities to push forward. Instead of backing away from the discomfort, recognize it for what it is, a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and making progress. This is where real growth happens. The trick is to shift your mindset about discomfort. Instead of viewing it as something to avoid, start seeing it as a signal that you're on the right track. Each time you push through it, you're building mental resilience and teaching your brain that discomfort doesn't control you. Over time, your tolerance for it will grow, and the things that once felt hard or overwhelming will become easier. This approach not only helps you break habits, but also builds a foundation of strength that can apply to many areas of your life. Are you ready to take control of your habits? Like this video and try one or more of these techniques today, and let us know in the comments which strategy worked best for you. Also, if you found these tips helpful, subscribe to Luxo-Life for more life-changing hacks. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos that can help you improve your life. See you in the next video, Luxo lovers.